Alright, so this time we will be making a dungeon, of all things. This is our first dungeon. So I'm going to go into full detail with creating just a layout, and then I'm going to make bosses and just enemies. We'll make this 32 by 32, which is going to be a huge map. Alright, so real quick, I am going to go back to our previous world. I trust that anyone would already do this, make sure they did it, but, you know, I'm recording this immediately after. So we're going to set the troops to bats and slimes, of course, so you can get into fights. So now, you know, make an overworld. Or not an overworld, but we make a cave. So this is going to be the fire caves. This is our first dungeon in the game. So, you know, this place takes place in a volcano. It's super cool. It's scary. It's people trying to bite your face off, and you know, there's an old witch lady, and she's mean, and you know, says things that are not that nice to you, and kind of hurts your feelings. But whatever. Alright, so let's see. We can use this. It's a little too burnt for my liking. Don't want the, you know, our character to just die immediately when walking in here, though that would be entertaining. So let's see. What are our options for flooring? We'll just go with this for now. It's a standard cave kind of floor. Alright. So, let's see. We'll just kinda make some hallways. There won't be any shadows in here because there's no need for shadows in the fire caves. So, we're gonna have this area be kind of just here. And I'll copy the same room. Alright, so now we're going to make this go forward. You know, this is a very shitty dungeon. Obviously, you know, it's not very good, but let's see, what can we do here? I want to make this map bigger. Actually, we're gonna actually let's redo this dungeon. Let's kind of take a moment to get into more detail with this. Let's actually create a real kind of first dungeon. We want to have our first dungeon be something, you know, of at least some substance, and not just some, you know, just bullshit. We want, you know, to make the player feel kind of like, hey, this is the first dungeon, but you know, we gotta have to draw them in. This is the first dungeon. It has to be good. Maybe even the best dungeon, or maybe not the best dungeon, but it has to be a good dungeon. Because this is what's, you know, inviting the players in. This is what it's like, you know, really selling players to your game at this point. If they didn't enjoy the towns, then, you know, they won't continue playing if this is bad. If they enjoyed the town, though, you know, if you made a town that was pretty nice, then maybe they'll enjoy it, and you know, they'll want to continue playing. But if your town was bad, then, you know, someone might not want to even continue. So we're making our first dungeon a fire dungeon kind of place. So let's see, I'm trying to remember what my first layout for a dungeon was in RPG Maker. Let's see, it wasn't that great. It was my first game, but it was something kind of like this, where I was doing it for more of a learning experience. You know, I knew it wasn't going to be good. I did try, of course, but I knew it wasn't going to be good. It was my first time using RPG Maker. So, this area is, you know, it's the opening to our, you know, huge labyrinth we're going to be sending the player through. So we're going to start the player off kind of a bit slowly. We'll have these. I'm going to smoothen this out a little more. Yeah, it's pretty much what I had it at before, but this is probably the best I'll get to work. We want it to be a little tight, since this is kind of it's a dungeon. It's a tight space, you know. Let's see. Let's make it then kind of go into a sort of thing like this. We'll do the floor, and then we'll do walls after. I'm sorry if this video is a little boring, but you know, I'm pretty much archiving my experience making a basic game, so I can use it for teaching, and I can also teach while, you know, teaching. I can also teach while like just kind of making a very basic game. Again, this is what the game's for. You know, it's I'm making this to teach people how to use RPG Maker. So let's have the player kind of go into a more fiery thing like this now, right? Like the floor is made of lava. It's all burnt, scary. Nobody likes it. You will kind of die or some shit, you know. It's all nice and it's full of fire and, you know, it's evil. I don't know. I'm just kind of having fun. We'll make sort of a pathway the player has to go through. You know, maybe we can make this floor. Let's see. I don't know what the stuff for this floor is, so let's see. This floor, makes you take damage. Alright. So, yeah. So, this floor makes you take damage. We'll kind of have a safe pathway. Or, we can actually do something a little different, and we'll make this not have any passage since it's so burnt, and the other ones can have passage, and we can make it so the ones around here are the most burnt, to have sort of an invisible wall. Let's make this cave even bigger. I'm sorry for constantly stopping to change the size. It's just, you never know exactly what size you need. I don't want to actually make something too big, then have like way too much room later. I've had that problem with making some games. Alright, so now we got this. We can make even more. This area is going to be here to show like kind of what some more the rest of this will be like later. You know, it's generally easy, there's not much to it, but it's like this is kind of a hint to what's to come. So let's go on and make a locked door in a moment.